So at the end of the 2025 Yamaha Tenere Rally in the Victorian High Country, RideADV, that's us, had the opportunity to take the only pre-production 2025 here in Australia back to our workshop. We had the opportunity to have a look at it in our own raw way in the workshop between Lincoln, one of the crew members, and myself. We had a look through, answer the questions that people asked. Rear suspension, let's have a look. Okay, so I'm doing a voiceover here basically because I can update some of the information. In the start of this, I'm talking about how we sent the shock absorber and the forks down to Technic Motorsport and they ran it on the dyno. And I can confirm, after getting it back from Nick, that the shock absorber, interestingly enough, follows their specification that they spent 2 years developing, basically. It's a dead ringer, runs straight over the top on the dyno, line over line, which is, a compliment to Nick and the team. It's not something you can replicate by guessing, so it's interesting how they've ended up at that, but I can confirm it's exactly the same. The eye length of the old shock absorber is 370mm between the eyes, and the new shock absorber is 390mm between the eyes, and I'm just discussing that there. The shock absorber has the same preload adjustment, the same compression and rebound adjustment screws as the 2024 shock. We did want to put it into a 24 chassis, but also would have meant, sorry about the technical glitch there, that meant we would have had to change these linkages over. The linkages are radically different, as you can see. They're a steel, wishbone, dog bone there, different, curved. Obviously, there's a different ratio in here in the linkage, so we would have swapped that over. So the plan originally was to put the 2025 shock linkages and forks in Crash's 2024 chassis, same frame, and run it at the high country, but I didn't have a spring for the back that would suit him carrying all the gear that we sweep riders carry. So given that we couldn't do that, then I didn't have one that was 20mm longer, and etc. So here's where we ended up. Red hot tip, kids, don't leave the keys in the bike like this, because if you lean on it, you will bend the key. So whoever's worked on that bike last, there's a lesson for you. So steering head nut, we've continually had on rallies, we find the steering head nut loose.
Yep. Alloy nut quite often comes.
And what are you saying about this one?
This one's a steel nut.
Yep.
You actually see in the picture, in the threads there, where the Loctite's coming out of it. So you can
didn't
see
have Loctite in the other ones, did it?
Other ones weren't Loctited, and they're an alloy nut, so they've changed that.
So it'd be interesting to check the manual. It's probably a high torque on that.
I'd say it's high torque.
Looking at this from a camel tank point of view, we notice there's two. We normally only have one breather hose or one.
One breather on a standard tank. But because this one's under a road bike style cap,
so where's that fuel tank?
A cavity.
Yeah, so we've got the different cap.
Yep. So this cap, we'll get to see. What you got to do is, because if you overfill this, it'll obviously fill this area with fuel. So it's got to be able to run somewhere.
So that comes out the other drain. So when you're hooking a camel tank up, that's going to be imperative you've got the right one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the breathers taken care of. Airbox is the same airbox.
Yep. Plastic airbox is the same.
Yep.
The boots are different. So the snorkel section on the inside's a different length or style.
Yep.
Air filter's the same, different lid, different snorkel.
Okay. So, but if you have air filters when you swap from your
the main air filter.
Air filter's the same. Okay. What's under here?
We've got, that's just CCU, so that's where you can hook your Bluetooth,
hook your phone. Yep.
Hook your phone up, and you can get all sorts of stuff in this new one. ECU's under here now instead of under the side cover.
And that's rubber in there. So it used to be under the side cover. There's your battery.
You got your battery, all your fuses.
Isn't there a 50 amp fuse in there?
That's a big ass 50 amp fuse there.
That must be the main fuse.
Yep.
The regulator's been moved over here from
the other spot that it was in.
I think it
was there, but lower. I think it was down here somewhere.
It is down there somewhere.
This side, I think.
Yep, and then.
So on this side, you've got all your relays. They used to be under the side cover.
Yep.
Get your relays, your starter cut-off relay, all that stuff's all moved to the front.
Okay, and that used to be under the seat.
Yep.
Everything else down around the side of the engine, same catch bottle. Yep. Radiator seems the same. This paneling looks a little bit cleaner up in here.
Yeah.
We've noticed as we put it back together here now, because it's off to the rack maker, we noticed that a lot of the screws don't have a captive washer. They've got a washer behind them, it's not captive. So we'll look at that, and when we got it back together, we'll go through the instrumentation. Let's do it. Yeah, so here's the seat. That's a seat concept seat, and that's the difference. You can see that doesn't fit. Interesting, like you said.
Yeah, I think it'll move your centre of gravity of your
body
forward, because everything's moving forward this far.
Yep. All right, so what else? We'll talk about the clutch cover.
The clutch covers moved. People complained that it was sticking out too far, so they've rotated all that clutch actuator forward.
I remember the first day over the road, I went, that's a pain in the ass, and then you never feel it.
You never ever notice it after that. But yeah, they've moved that, rotated that all forward.
Yep. I wonder if that'd retrofit to a new bike. Old bike, I guess it would.
Yeah, I guess it would, yeah. They've
It's the same CP2 engine.
They've changed the look of the cover on the other side. It's got a new cover. It's no different, it's just a new look to go with the other side.
This side here is pretty well the same otherwise, isn't it?
Yeah, sprocket cover, all that stuff.
Sprocket cover's the same. World rate foot pegs. World rate foot pegs. Still no chain guide underneath. No. Which again, if you notice the race bikes, did you notice Poltaris's race bike that he rode the Eco race with? No. Didn't have one.
GYTR bike doesn't have one.
GYTR bike doesn't have one. All right, so.
Turny.
Righto, what do you got?
So,
big boy voice.
So we've got different modes. So if you click on them, you got over this side, you got different buttons. On off here, mode button here. Then on the other side, we've got a joystick now, blinkers, all that stuff's all buttons.
So something tricky about the blinkers, you want to run me through them?
The blinkers are soft touch like modern cars. Just hit a little bit, flashes 3 times, turns off.
Yep.
Hit it hard, keeps flashing.
Stays on.
Then to turn it off, just hit it again.
Cancel.
Gone.
Okay, take me through these modes.
So in here you've got different ABS modes. You can change them up and down. So you rear off, go again, rear off.
And how are you doing that? With the joystick?
All through the joystick and the toggle.
Okay.
So you go across, same thing, power mode. You can go sport. If I can change it.
Traction control.
Yeah, traction control, same thing, hold it down, turns it off. Power mode, you can change them between sport and explore.
Can
Yeah, you can, I swear.
Okay. Yep.
Yep, there you go.
So what's the difference between sport and explore?
So Explore's smoother. Okay. Sport's obviously the sporty mode.
Okay.
A bit more aggressive. Explorer is a very smooth mode.
Okay.
So you go home again, all through here. So same thing now, you've got phone, you can do phone connectivity with...
What's your phone connectivity give you?
Turn-by-turn navigation, which we'll see how well it works.
Okay. We get our phone hooked up?
Yeah, music, all that stuff, weather. Not that you probably know if it's wet or not when you're riding, but all that's through all the joystick now, which is a really nice little system to use.
Do you want to hook the phone up?
Yeah,
let's give it a go. Right, I set a genuine Yamaha crash bars.
Yep, off the old model. So this one looks like it might be too close to here. This comes out a little bit wider by the look of it. So
is that one bent, Buck?
Maybe.
No, I reckon they go pretty good.
Yeah. We might have to give it a go. So that's what that side is. Let's have a look on the other side.
I reckon that's going to clear it.
We'll see what's on the other side. Yeah, this side should be pretty good, I think.
I think the genuine Yamaha crash bars will still work.
Just be a matter of as long as it'll go up behind the header pipe, that all looks like it's the same. I think they should work.
They should work. Okay, so they're the genuine Yamaha.
Yeah, they've got a new part number for this new generation.
Have they?
But it looks like this old gen one might just work anyway.
Because the difference in there is only a bolt head.
Yeah.
And that's not going to make the difference in there.
And that MT07 shock mount they use at the back still exactly the same.
Because this engine will be MT07.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll call that a win.
Yeah.
But there's a new part number for that.
Yeah, there's a new part number. There's a new set of crash bars for new generation.
Okay, you also said there was a new part number for the air filter?
The fuel pump.
Fuel pump.
So fuel pump, the start section of the part number is the same, middle is the same, which says basically it's the same pump, but the last section's the same. I would say the change will be in the actual fuel level sensor because of the different shaped tank.
Ah, yeah, righto. Yeah. So there's a difference, righto. Yeah. How many of those fuel pumps are replaced?
None.
How many Teneres have you sold?
Probably 100. There'd be probably 100, a lot.
Okay, so you've never done a fuel pump?
Nope.
Fuel filter?
Nope.
Injectors?
Never.
What's the biggest warranty claim you've had on one of these?
Front wheel's a different colour.
That was a legit claim?
Wheel,
it took down to 3 months to find out, and he didn't even notice. It had a black front wheel and a blue rear wheel.
That's right, yeah.
And he didn't notice.
Yeah, and no one noticed it.
And I don't want to tag Steve Parrish for making him feel silly, but he didn't notice. No. Okay. Shock's different. We've covered that.
Yeah.
Forks are different. I'll just check with Nick what we can talk about with the suspension.
Yeah.
Okay. I reckon that pretty well narrows it off. Seat's different.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else. We've talked about linkage being different. You know, these fasteners, they don't seem as user-friendly as the old ones, if I'm being honest, but It's pre-post, so who knows? It might be different. What have we noticed when we put it back together? There's no charcoal canister, so it's not ADR compliant for Australia.
Not ADR compliant. This one.
So yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
ABS can switch off while it's.
Yeah, when you sit.
What have we decided? It can switch on or off.
Yeah, if you hold it with this, you can turn. It turns off the rear.
Yep.
And turns off the traction control all in one go.
Okay, beautiful.
With that button.
Wonder if you can do it while you're moving.
Don't know. We'll find out.
Once you go for a ride, what can you tell us?
So we've got the app connected. We've got current weather.
Okay.
We've got music up the top.
Okay.
So I figure once it's actually connected, your phone's connected to your headset, you can actually start and stop the music all through the joystick.
And can you change the selection?
Yep. All through there.
So it comes up with that horrendous music.
Comes up with that horrendous music. You can't. There's no country and western. It's only real music.
So Blink-182, did I see?
Yeah. No,
a Punk Vampire Weekend.
Yeah.
Seriously?
There's all sorts of stuff.
Sorry, I forgot you're 14.
Yeah. So and then you got current weather while you're connected to the app.
Okay, and what about the other one? Can you do how many kilometres, all that sort of status? Does that stay on your phone app?
That stays on your phone app.
Okay, so where are you at with that?
In your phone app. I don't know. Actually, I haven't looked for a long time. So you go in vehicle info.
You're not connected to your current world, right, are you?
No.
We gave up on that.
No, we gave up on that, yeah. So yeah, it's all through there. And
So
it'll actually give you, so if you go in here, it'll give you all your fuel economy and stuff, your current location, it'll tell you where you parked your bike.
Good.
So
if your bike was stolen?
It should still update, I suppose,
Okay,
I don't know. You go into here, tell you how far you've been, you can go up, I'll show you all this stuff. So it'll actually show you, we'll start it.
All that's in the app.
Yep.
Right. Beautiful. Yeah. What do you find?
So you can change your power mode while you're riding as long as you're throttled off.
So that's the same as what my Indian's the same.
Typical power mode. Yep. So you throttle off, you can change power modes. You can't change ABS modes on the move.
Okay, and that would be traction control too?
Yes.
Okay, so you can't do that on the move?
Yeah, got to stop the change.
Okay, what's under here?
They got updated USB-C.
USB-C, because that's technology, people.
Yep.
All right, that's great. Well, thanks for the wrap, Lincoln. Yeah. Thanks to a nice shirt.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Beautiful, yep. Yeah. All right, let's get this out and we'll start on the project too.
Sounds good.
Well, thanks to Yamaha for giving us the bike. Thanks to Lincoln for making his time available. I can confirm our RideADV racks don't fit, but we have since had them modified. We're picking them up. The new ones now will fit all models. We've just made an adjustment to the front mount. Thank you very much.